Here I am at Turtle Lake Refuge in Durango, Colorado, and I'm here in the kitchen, and this is Rachel. Rachel is making a cactus pear dessert. What is it, like a pudding, Rachel?
Yeah, we're gonna do like a pudding over amaranth cacao granola.
Okay. And let's see that color. That is just gorgeous. That is only cactus pears blended up with some of the juice.
Prickly pear cactus fruits.
Yes. Prickly pear cactus juice. There's my daughter Gabriela working here in the kitchen. And these are the cactus pears. This place is all about wild living food. So you can take cactus pears and make a beautiful, beautiful rich dessert like this.
And super alkaline. One of the most alkaline foods. Really good food. And you just have to strain them because they do have a lot of seeds on the inside and they do have spines on the outside. So if you want to make a juice, they make a beautiful juice.
Just cactus pear alone?
Just cactus and water. And sometimes you do cactus and lemons. Or cactus and orange. And then blend it with water and strain it out.
Okay, so here's Gabriela, and she's going to be making...
This is a wheatgrass-apple lemon green juice. And the way that we do it here is we use a blender. A lot of people juice their wheatgrass, but here it's just a lot easier for us to use the blender, and we feel that it helps to dilute the juice a little bit with water, just so it's not so intense and it's a lot more enjoyable to drink. So I usually cut the wheatgrass and then I take about like a quarter size in my hand, and then just so the wheatgrass doesn't get wrapped around the blade, we chop it into like little 1-inch pieces and put it in the blender.
That's about what, like a half a cup of wheatgrass? Cup of wheatgrass?
Yeah, something like that. And then I like to add a half of a lemon and a nice handful of apple to give it some sweetness. And then our whole building here, we have filtered water. So I just fill this up with cold filtered water. And then I put the top on. In here. Let it blend. And like we make a lot here because we serve a lot of people green juice. So while I have one blending, sometimes I'll make another batch.
And we also have here, while the wheatgrass-apple lemon is blending, this is my husband Harvey, and he is preparing the Turtle Lake lunch salad. Whoa, with wonderful local organic greens and lots of sprouts grown right here at Turtle Lake Refuge. So what happens next with the juice?
So when it's done, you can see it kind of got all uniform, all mixed together. And then we strain it because wheatgrass, we're not cows, so we can't digest grass. If we eat too much grass, it's really upsetting for our stomach, but the juice is excellent. So we want to strain out all of that fiber. And so we just kind of strain it into a pitcher. And sometimes people save the pulp. Wheatgrass is known to be really good topically, especially for the skin. So sometimes what's left, the pulp, you can take it home and you can use it as a compress. Like if you have melanomas or acne or like any kind of skin issues, it can help with that. And yeah, that's it. And then we
And then we're going to end up with a
here
delicious
and
juice. How is it, Gabriela?
It's really good.
Yum.
It's nice. It's green and it has a little lemon and a little hint of apple. It's really nice.
Delicious. Okay, so Gabriela, you're making a raw pizza.
You are so observant. Yes. I am making a raw pizza. And the crust is a little bit of buckwheat, but it's mostly sunflower seeds and flax and spices. I put some rosemary, basil, and thyme, salt and pepper, and water. And it becomes a nice dough in the food processor, and then I laid that out and dehydrated it overnight. And they got a little, I had to dehydrate it twice actually, so it got a little dry, and sometimes when things get too dry in the dehydrator, they get a little warped, so it's not lying flat anymore. But the ones before this one did, that I took out a little bit sooner. So you don't want it to be too dry or too hard. You want to take it out when it still has a little bit of moisture, and that's the best.
And then you put a tomato sauce.
I made this tomato sauce with sun-dried tomatoes, fresh tomatoes, red pepper, basil, fresh basil, dried oregano, a little salt and pepper, and a couple dried figs. That's my little secret.
Dried figs.
Yeah.
It's really yummy.
Then we have,
And here is like the finished product
yeah.
of these pizzas with all kinds of beautiful fresh toppings like sliced mushrooms and pepper and
I made a little sun-dried tomato and olive tapenade as well.
yum, that was delicious. The sun-dried tomato and olive tapenade.
And then we have some marinated mushrooms as well that I'm going to put on top. That we made a little marinade for. And then I've got, so I like to put peppers first. I mean, you can really put anything you want in your pizza, but I kind of like the more traditional toppings. You know, like peppers and mushrooms and olives and tomatoes.
And so Gabriela says that the mushrooms are marinated in lemon, a little apple cider vinegar, and herbs. Gabriela, why do you like working at Turtle Lake Refuge? In the cafe?
Well, there's a lot of reasons, but I really enjoy that I get to be creative, and you know, we come in the morning and we never know what we're going to make. It's always kind of a surprise, and we kind of see what we have available in the refrigerator. We have a bunch of staple items in the back, and then whatever produce we want to get, we go to the store and buy, and it's just really gratifying to feed people really nourishing food, especially people who are really excited to eat it. And
Yeah, I heard you have a bunch of regulars who come in here.
yeah, we have a bunch of regulars and, you know, new people who, like, I mean, people who travel, like, from all over the world to come here and just have lunch for an hour.
That's amazing.
And we get to serve them, and they're so into it, like, so into it. And it's really nice. I get to work with a lot of my friends, so we kind of, like, goof around a lot, and it's pretty fun.
Nice. This is Dylan. And Dylan, could you show me the sprout room here at Turtle Lake Refuge?
Yeah, so this is half of our grow room. We have one upstairs too, and here you'll see the different stages of some various microgreens we grow. So these are some peas. You know, the bigger they are, the older. So you can see they get, you know, some younger ones. Some wheatgrass. That's kind of like a adolescent age. It's starting to get there, the right height. Got some sunflowers.
Those are my favorites.
Yeah, they're really good. Some younger ones up here in the grow lights. We try and keep the younger things in the more concentrated light for their own health. Down here you'll see, so with this system, so when they're really young, we have them under trays, and so that makes it dark and a little bit of pressure on them, and they really like that. And so this is like just planted stuff, and once they're a little bit bigger, we'll move them so they still have the tray, part of a tray, so it's dark. You can see they're a little bit older, and so this is young wheatgrass. before it gets its vibrant green, and then all the chlorophyll comes in.
Wow.
Some young sunflowers. And so you can see we plant them pretty dense to try and get a pretty good yield per tray.
Yeah. My son is growing them at home, and I just love them.
And so we'll lift them up, water them underneath, and see it's a little bit wet because I watered this morning.
Oh, so you water it underneath the tray as well?
Yeah, everything gets bottom watered except peas. And so as far as planting goes, everything's half and half compost and topsoil. Half and half compost and sand, and then peas really enjoy topsoil, so we'll just get that from the area. More peas, more sunflowers. Here's some radish, which is nice. It's got like a nice spicy kick. You can tell it's got like part of the brassica family. It's got the pretty iconic little leaves.
Beautiful.
And so sunnies are our main thing. So we've got mostly sunnies. Upstairs we've got buckwheat, which is kind of looks like radish but a lot bigger. And it's got a little lemony flavor, and it's winter now, and we continue growing all year. It gets a little bit harder in the winter because of the colder temperatures and just the logistics of it, and so they don't grow as vigorous in the winter, but you can see we're still growing them.
Yeah, thank you. What a beautiful sprouting garden this is.
Love my job.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you get to be with all this wonderful sprouting life here, all this germination. Wow, thank you, Dylan.
Yeah, about the seeds, like what you think about that?
The organic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.